I don't even know what this video is going to be about.
Nah, honestly, just a bit about us,
I
innit?
don't know if it's going to be a podcast. I don't know if it's going to be the start of a podcast.
Could be.
But at the minute, this video is just going to be a bit of a. It's probably going to be a podcast, to be honest. But
Yeah.
the start. We don't know what the name is going to be. I don't know what the actual podcast is going to be called. But this is me, Tom. Obviously, it's going to go on my channel. It's going to go on Harry's as well. And obviously, that is, as I've just said,
Harry.
Here we go.
We could call it Tom Two Dicks and Harry.
We're autistic though.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry's got a podcast.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry. Every Tom, Dick and Harry. That's good, that.
I know.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
Let's call it that. Every Tom, Dick and Harry podcast.
Yeah. Tom, Dicks and Harry.
No,
No.
we're not dicks. We're lovely men. Right, anyway, so we are gonna obviously in this video, it's or in this podcast, what we're going to be talking about is a bit of an introduction into me, a bit of an introduction into Harry, and go through some topics which we've literally wrote down in the past 10 minutes. So yeah,
talk about freeballing.
Well, we was going to start the video with absolutely zero idea, but I like to have a little bit of a plan of action with what's going to happen. Otherwise, I get a little bit distraught. I need to know the actual topics at least, and then we've not completely wing it. Otherwise, we'll be sat looking at the camera like,
we'll have to edit this bit out.
Right, so introduction. I'll let you go first.
So I'm Harry, 23. I've been training. Fucking hell, when did I start? About 4 years now. Started like actually taking it serious about 4 years ago. Got really into it. Fell in love. Started coaching. Love it. Started bodybuilding. Looking at my first competitive season. That's pretty much it about me.
That was short and sweet, wasn't it?
Short and sweet, unlike me.
Fuck yeah, alright you. Fucking tall and a dickhead. Right, next, obviously myself, Tom, 27, a little bit older. I've been training now since I was 15, but I probably spent about I'm 27, so obviously I've been training for about 12 years, but the first like 7 or 8 years was, I'd say 7, probably 7 years, was kind of playing a bit of a guessing game, not really knowing what I'm doing, have no direction, and just training for the love of training, but not actually seeing the progress that I wanted to see or I expected to see. So yeah, it was more of a case of I started to train for a few particular reasons which we're going to go into, but I didn't actually make a lot of progress for a long time. But over the past 4 or 5 years, a lot's changed. My whole mindset towards everything, physique. I'm a coach. I've been PT. Well, started off as a PT, doing that for 3 years. Then went pretty much fully online, and I've been doing that now for 1.5 years. All in all, coaching, PT, and probably for nearly. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Not even that. It's been about a year online.
Is it? I thought it was about a longer.
No. So I've been coaching and PT now for almost 4 years. So yeah, I would say I started to really take everything seriously when I started PTing, and we'll kind of get into why that was and what kind of led me to wanting to do that. But I think eventually I'd have got there without ever becoming a PT anyway. It just was a bit of a catalyst for me. But yeah, that's me. Sorry. So the next one is the catalyst of why we started training. So I'll let Harry go first with this one.
So for me, mine's actually such a vanity reason. So I was at Creamfields, like.
I'm not even going to say.
What?
I'm going to say.
Say what?
Get all the girls.
Nah, not even. Do you know what is right? It actually wasn't. A lot of people do start training to get girls. Mine wasn't that. I was at Creamfields like 5 years ago now. And there was a heat wave and it was fucking hot. Like I'm talking, I was drenched, and I only ever wear black clothing really. He says with a grey jumper on, but dark clothing's like my sort of thing. So we're at Creamfields. Obviously, we're a heat wave. Everyone's got the tops off. Everyone's drinking, and I just remember like being absolutely sweating out, like to the point where my clothes were drenched, and I was 108 kilos or something at this point, like pure fat, barely trained. Just did like
fat boy.
Yeah, we're a fat boy. And to be honest, I was just uncomfortable. Like all the lads and that were like, "Just take your top off," and I'm like,
"You know what I'll do is I'll put a picture of Harry what he looked like when he was a bit fatter.
Yeah.
Up there. That's what Harry looked like, and that was what 3 years ago.
4.5.
3.5. 4.5 years ago. That's what he looked like.
Yeah. And all the boys were just like, oh, just take your top off. And I was like, nah. I refused to take the top off, and then literally after I got home from that Creamfields, I was like, I need to sort my fucking life out here, because the fact that I wasn't comfortable taking my top off, I was like, as a confident person as well, I've always been confident. Like even when I was big, obviously I had that fat boy confidence that you have, don't you? Yeah, literally. So it was just one of them. I got back from that weekend, started going to the gym, trained on my own for a little bit, just sort of winging it like we all do, fucking flinging a few weights about, doing a push-pull legs or bro split. Can't remember what it was. It probably a bro split, to be honest. Pull, push.
Chest, back, shoulders, legs, arms, shoulders.
Push, pull, rest. I didn't train legs.
True. That's why they don't just start growing now.
Yeah, I know. Where were I? But yeah, I started training a little bit on my own. Just fucking with one of the boys, as you do. Everyone starts like that, don't they, I think. And then I did actually invest in a coach, like my first coach, dropped 20 kilos. From I think I was 98 to like 18 kilos. But I wasn't carrying the muscle mass to like look good at that weight, if that makes sense.
So I'll put it up there.
Fuck,
the end.
I was just skinny. But I did what I needed to do. Obviously, then I did a bulk. I did a dirty bulk. I just fucking seafood diet. Ate absolutely everything in sight. Called it a bulk. Tom, the whole time I was bulking, was like, just let me coach you, I'll get you in a good shape. And I was like, nah, I'll do it myself. Didn't do it myself. Got fat.
Egotistical man.
Just got fat again. And then I was like, you know what? I think I might. Well, no.
I literally just said to you, let me just try my system for me.
Gaslit me.
I said gaslit. I did not do any gaslighting. I said try my system for me. It weren't a new system. I've been using it. I wanted some more clients. So I was like, just try it and then let me know what your thoughts are. I just basically wanted a bit of a testimonial. So just try it. If you just give it a go, couple of weeks, see what you think, give me some feedback. There we go. And that's kind of where it went from there.
Like 100 weeks ago.
So many weeks.
But we have been friends longer than his coach, so like he was trying to get me to work with him obviously before we did start working together.
I weren't gaslighting him.
I
know I changed his life.
You did, yeah, but you gaslit me to change my life, so I'm not complaining.
I'm not calling that gaslighting. To be honest, gaslighting is negative. There's no negative association with what this was.
It was manipulative. Then you was like, oh, just try this with me. I was like, yes, yeah, and then it was like, yeah, just keep checking in next week.
What positive manipulation? That sounded like it to me. I don't know.
But yeah, that's pretty much my catalyst. I was fat, uncomfortable, didn't want to take my top off. Like even at a festival where no one actually gives a fuck. But that was sort of my kick up the arse, shall we call it, where I was like, I need to get a fucking grip in my life. And like I said, it.
What's it me?
Yeah.
Your story's like, you did the right thing. You invested in a coach quite early. You was uncomfortable. You invested in a coach quite early. And then, obviously, that's why you've made the progress that you have. Because there's never really been any guesswork. You might have trained for a little bit by yourself, but then you had a coach. And then you made all the progress by following the steps. It's like kind of going through those transitions.
Even in that time that I still knew what I was doing, it was just like, when it came to not having the accountability, obviously, after my first coach, I had that accountability. It was sound. Lost all the way, knew what I was doing for the bulk, and then I just sort of...
Even then, did you know what you were doing? Because people say they know what they're doing for the bulk, but then actually applying what they feel like they
I knew what I was doing. I just didn't apply it. I knew what I needed to do, but then without that like accountability, I was just like, fuck this. I'll just eat that donut or I'll just eat that pizza. You know what I mean?
You never make any progress.
Yeah, literally, I just stayed in the same spot for like a year.
But that happens, and sometimes you have to get to that breaking point to then think, right, no, I need some help.
Yeah.
And I think it's more so prominent with guys than it is with girls. I always feel like females are better at getting help than what guys are.
Yeah, they're straight.
Females see the mates doing really well and they're like, oh my god, babes.
Who's done that for you?
Who's doing that for you? Let me sign up. When guys are like,
oh my god, you're doing so well.
You're looking alright, mate. You're looking alright, mate. Are you doing that? Were you by yourself? No, with a coach. Sweet, I'll do it by myself. That's how guys work in comparison to females.
Yeah,
but my catalyst, obviously it was a long time ago. But we're going to have to rewind a fair bit here. So
little Specky Tom.
back to little Specky Tom. We're going to put Specky Tom on the screen because everyone's got to see Specky Tom.
We love Specky Tom.
He was a specky little twat that looked like you were Will Off In Between Us.
Did as well, you know.
I look fully like Will Off In Between Us. What a joke. But yeah, so for me, this is going to get pretty deep, you know.
Yeah, I rate that.
This is going to get pretty.
This is
going to get pretty.
People like the deep stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, I weren't confident at all as a kid. I had such big aspirations and big goals. Even when I remember being in like year 8, being in art one day, and someone asked me in the class, they were like, "What do you want to be when you're older?" And I says, "I want to be a businessman." Didn't know what in. I just remember vividly saying, "I want to be a businessman." So I've always had these massive goals and aspirations of what I wanted to do in life, but I just never believed in myself. And I thought, say for example, I was that kid where I was in class, and if a teacher asked me a question, I had to speak in front of the class, I'm going red. If a girl talked to me when I was at school, I'm going red. I had absolutely zero confidence.
I still does that now.
You're mad. There'd be no way I'd be getting Courtney if I fucking if I went red. You're mad. No chance.
Blushing.
No chance. Yeah, I blush my phone a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But she'll love that.
Yeah, that's we're keeping that in.
But yeah, I just never had any confidence. I just felt like a bit of. It's hard to say this, but I felt like for me, I was a little bit worthless. In all honesty.
Shit.
No, genuinely. I genuinely felt worthless. I felt like I had a lot of love from people around me, like my family, but I didn't like myself, to be honest. I always had these aspirations to look like the big guys because they were confident, and I always associated. I seen it where bigger guys would walk in a room, and they just have a presence.
Yeah. Facts.
They have this sort of aura when they walk in a room, and it's like they're there, and they just have this level of confidence that I thought to myself, I thought that was going to be the thing that helped me come out of my shell a little bit more. But I think coming out of my shell came from a variety of different things that happened in life, to be honest. But anyway, I started training at 15 because I thought to myself, you know what? I just want to train. I want to start to be a bit more confident, and I want to get myself in the gym so I can start to be the gym lad at school. So I can go in the gym and lift some, like the school gym, and lift some weights and be the strongest one there, and I still were never the strongest. Fuck you, lot.
Were you year 7 fucking shirt on, and that's your arms up bigger?
Yeah. I still had those year 7 fucking shirts until I was about 18, mate.
Yeah, but you remember your first job, wouldn't you?
Just put them on when I was at fucking what's it called, work experience. But yeah, then obviously just did the usual. I started on a weekend, and throughout the week I'd just be playing Call of Duty on Xbox. I was a bit of a gamer nerd. Loved it. Still, if I had one now, I'd still play it.
Yeah, that's why I don't have one.
Yeah. So just
I'd be getting no steps. Prepping me out the window.
Yeah,
I'd be fucking bashing FIFA.
Business, no chance.
Yeah. After this game.
Yeah. COD first, business after. But anyway, I used to game all the time, and I was one of those where I'd game, but on a weekend I'd start to go to the gym, and I loved it, and I felt like that was my time away from like gaming and thinking about schoolwork. And then 2 days turned into 3, and then 3 days turned to 4, and then obviously as time went on, I started doing like 5-6 days a week, even when I was at school. Then obviously we went to college, so my first, pretty much giving you my life story here. So I went to do A-levels first, business, sociology and ICT. Don't know why. I chose business because I wanted to do something in business. That's fucking useless.
It's proper useless, isn't it?
It's fucking useless. You learn when you're doing. Sociology, which is even more useless. Sorry if you've done sociology and it's something that you do, but I'm being honest, it's fucking useless.
I don't know what sociology is.
Useless, mate. That's what it is. And then I did ICT, and again, just useless altogether. I ended up getting 3 U's, 3 ungraded. Midway through A-levels, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go and apply to be an electrician. Me.
You'd be able to get in the lamps.
Fuck off, you cunt. So I thought, I'm going to go for an apprenticeship as a lecturer, because I thought, you know what, that's good money, and that can be something that I can do instead of A-levels, because I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in at the time. And then did the apprenticeship interview, and they was asking me questions like plus and negatives, and asking me these fucking questions on a piece of paper, and I went, I've got to answer them. I got every one of them wrong. So I didn't get the job, obviously, but then as we got to the end of A-levels, I applied to do a college degree, a BTEC in coaching.
College degree.
No, college degree. In coaching. So that was more so to do with helping kids at school and stuff like that, but that led me to then getting a 2-1 and then moving into university and then moving to Leeds. And that was at Leeds Trinity University. So I did my undergrad degree in strength and conditioning. Therefore, being able to get into Leeds Trinity University was a massive thing for me. So that was the first step and the major step in my life. And I think that built up a lot of confidence in me because I was always a bit of a homebody. I never really ventured out apart from when I was on holiday. And then moving away from home, moving away from my family, it was that time that kind of made me take a step up in confidence to start doing things by myself, which was a massive step. But did that. That was the first step for me when it comes to confidence building. Also training at the same time. So I moved to another gym, moved to another city, continued to train. But obviously, as university came about, and I've not mentioned this bit, but I was a bit of a drinker. Not an alcoholic, not an alcohol, but that sounded bad. I want an alcohol, but I'd go out every single week. So from the age of 18 up until like probably the second year, not even the third year of uni, I'd probably go out every single week without fail.
That was like me though, like when obviously I didn't realise we were going into so much depth, as I was referring a bit more about myself. But obviously I was in the army. I spent 6 years in the infantry. Yeah, I fucking loved drinking. Like at one point we were going out like 4 or 5 times a week. We loved it. We'd spend the last bit of money we had on drink. It was class. Well, it wasn't class obviously for lifestyle perspective, but it was fun whilst it lasted. I enjoyed it whilst it was going on. I don't regret it. I regret not starting the gym a bit sooner, but the actual like that side of life, it's life experience. I'm glad I've done it. I don't regret it. You know what I mean? I've met some fucking good lads from doing it. But that is one of the like biggest catalysts as to why I got so heavy. Like boozing all the time, takeaways, this and that. Like it all adds up, and it adds up fast. Like 1 minute you're like, oh look, all right. Obviously finished.
Next minute you're a fat cunt.
Like 3 years down the line, I was like, fuck me. I looked at myself. I was like, Jesus Christ, what happened here? But yeah, that were a bit about like me. I spent 6 years in the infantry. I only got out last year, and then started.
So he made a lot of his progress when he was in the army, by the way.
Yeah, so it's not. Everyone seems to think like, oh, when you're in, you're going to be like this mad fit athlete, and 90% of people in there aren't. Like it's just normal lads who love a drink and just can rock up pissed and still crack out an 8-mile run. Not very fast, like I couldn't anyway. Not very fast, but I was at my unfittest when I was in. Like I'd say I'm at like my fittest now. But it's because obviously I've got that consistency back. I can train, I can eat when I want, which is a massive like benefit of leaving. I've still kept a very regimented routine, I'd say, with training and nutrition and stuff, and it's just even easier now. I'm not just getting thrown fucking in the middle of nowhere for a few months at a time for shits and giggles.
You found it all at the time, though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was hard balancing it.
Balancing it all, because still obviously kind of being around the lads that were drinking all the time, and trying to make the progress whilst adjusting your lifestyle. Yeah, like it was a massive.
I just ended up fully sober for ages, didn't I? Yeah. Like I was going out with all the boys when they were all drinking and that, just on the diet cokes, but I didn't mind it. Like I still got the social aspect of it, and I was still moving towards my goals.
You can still have a good time.
Yeah, see, I'm a fucking absolute raging crackhead me, so it's like I can go out sober and still have more fun than most people are steaming, so that's no problem at all for me.
Just want to clarify, you don't mean he's actually a crackhead.
No.
Just want to clarify that.
Not anymore. No, just
only a little bit. Only dabble did it every now and again.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah. Where was I? Went to uni.
Uni drinking.
Yeah, drinking every single week, and I did that, like I said, up until like the third year of uni. But then at the back end of uni, third year, obviously I still trained throughout that whole process. The only issue is I didn't make a lot of progress because of the fact that multiple reasons. You've got food being all over the place, and it wasn't even the fact that I was a broke student because I was still managing to go out every single weekend. It was more so.
I'm gonna grab water.
Yeah, man. It was more so just the fact that I didn't eat right. Probably could have trained harder. If anything, sometimes I probably trained too much in terms of the amount of days, and then the drink obviously didn't help because it led to a lot of takeaways, a lot of shit food, and my body just kind of stayed the same for a long time. And then lockdown hit.
You made a lot of progress.
I made a lot of progress, and that wasn't even down to the fact I took gear because I didn't take gear at that point.
That's when I got to my heaviest in lockdown. Like I got to my heaviest in lockdown. I was just drinking every day.
whilst for me, so I live with my mates at the time. My boys, I lived with one at the end of year 3 before I moved into masters, and then because obviously it was lockdown at that point, all we did every day was just train because we had fuck all else to do. So we'd go on the pads, we'd both box, so I'd go on the pads, we'd go for a 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometre run, then we'd go to the fucking local park, obviously, and then do some pull-ups on the bars and things like that, and do press-ups in the local fucking kids park, which is proper weird.
It's nonsense.
Proper weird, that, innit? I tell you that, well, no, we didn't do that.
Calisthenics in
That's all you could. That's all you could do. That's all you could. Like we just. That's all we did. Exercise, trained, run, boxed. I still look like shit, but all we did. I was fit. I was the fittest I'd ever been, and we thought to ourselves, right, we're going to do a diet, and that was my first ever diet because all I'd done before that point was just eat. I just ate, like most people. I just ate. I was bulking, but I wasn't really bulking because I was making no progress. I'd like get a little bit fat, I'd drop a little bit of weight, and then there would be no progress because I'm not eating enough quality food. I'm not spending enough time in a proper surplus. Food's up and down all the fucking time, which seesaw.
But that's like something we can touch on a bit later. Obviously, that's a lot of people do that. So
Yeah, a lot of people
are like, oh, I'm gonna bulk, and then they'll get 4 or 5 weeks in, they'll put a bit of fluff on,
and then they start being really inconsistent.
Whoa, what's going on here? Like they start losing the vascularity of their abs, and then they just fucking pull it that I need to diet. When in reality, they've not actually built much.
And then they don't even diet for long enough to then make a significant difference. So it's like a constant game of being up and down. And that was me. And me and my mate Dom, we decided to do a diet for 6 weeks. And the way that we did it was the dumbest thing, but it worked, right? Because I'd never stuck to a plan before. So the way that I kind of stuck to this and the way that we stuck to it was just simple. Not completely cut carbs out, but like if we're having pasta, we'd weigh everything out, but it'd be like 30 grams of pasta. It would be a quarter of a bag of microwave rice. It would be half a I fucking wish I didn't. Like it was like a quarter of a bowl of Cocoa Pops, but then a lot of protein, so a lot of chicken, a lot of mince, whey protein, Greek yogurts. Like a lot of it was more protein based. Vegetable intake increased, fruit intake increased, and every 2 weeks we'd go treat yourself to the local pizza down the road. So every 2 weeks we'd have an off-plan, untracked meal, and I got into the best shape I'd ever got into just from doing that. And that's kind of really what kick-started everything for me. It weren't perfect from there, but that made me go, oh, so this is what I look like here. And I think that kick-started my love for actually seeing the physical progress.
As soon as you see that change in it, as soon as, like for me, as soon as I started seeing veins, I seen that first bicep vein, I was like, yeah, game time.
Exactly. It's like it kicks you into gear a little bit, because when you do genuinely start to see that progress, like it wasn't perfect from there. And I'm not going to beat around the bush, it wasn't. Like things were still a little bit shit from that point, because after that, lockdown was starting to slow down a little bit. Gyms started to open back up, but guess what else started opening back up? Bars, clubs, things like that. So we just started to go out and not get massively pissed again. To be fair, we pulled back a little bit, but it was like the freedom element was starting to become like a thing. So it was nice to get out again and just enjoy ourselves. So life just kind of went back to normal, and habits and bad habits started to creep back in. And then
it's easily done. It's not even just because, like, that's not even just in lockdown, isn't it? Like, that's just life.
It's life in general.
Life gets busy, life gets stressful, and then all of a sudden these bad habits start creeping back in unless you nip them in the bud early.
But I didn't realise how important it was to me. Like the physical progress and what you do with your body and how you look, for me, makes me feel good. and it makes me want to be better.
But that's not even from
and it improves my day.
That's not even like from a vanity perspective either.
No.
Like, even if you wore clothes all the time, no one seen you didn't post anything, I'd still do the exact same thing I do now.
Because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And people don't understand because they feel shit day to day because they eat shit, they don't sleep or they don't have a good sleep, they're stressed all the time, they don't train enough or train hard enough, they don't look after their body, they don't drink enough water, they don't do the things to know how it actually genuinely feels. Like, if my body shape never changed again, I'd still live the same.
Yeah, fact.
Because I feel good. Because I feel good. When I eat takeaways for a couple of days on the trot, or if I'm on holiday and I go for a 7-day fucking holiday and I'm just eating whatever, then I come back and I do feel a little bit like, oh, I'm ready to get back to it now because of how I feel.
That's exactly like me. So obviously I'm on prep now. I'm on week 2 of prep. Well, we're going to cover that a bit later, but I'm on week 2 of prep so far. And like the week leading up to prep, I was just a bit like, you know what? If I've got cravings, if I want something, I'm going to have it because I don't want to go into prep and be like, oh, fucking hell, I should have had this, I should have had that. So I
told him to send it.
Yeah, so I sent it a little bit. I say a little bit. I was
screwing. You took the piss.
Yeah, I took the piss. I don't regret it. I've stripped it all back off now. I'm 5 kilo down.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. But yeah, ate what I wanted. Ate takeaways, ate sweets, ate fucking full fat drinks. And honestly...
Well, you ate full fat drinks?
What do you mean?
You ate?
Or drank. Yeah, ate the can
that
as well.
Hungry,
That's but yeah, let me get back to it anyway. So, it comes to, obviously, like the first couple of days of prep, and fuck me, I felt like shit. Like, my skin got awful. My skin's still not fully recovered from it now. Obviously it'll start clearing up with food and stuff, being in a fucking very good spot, but I just felt dead. Like, I went to work and I was like, I am actually, my stomach's in knots. I feel like I'm about to fucking shit myself. Like, it's just, the digestion on it was awful. It just made me feel like absolute death, and genuinely I was like, I can't wait for prep. Prep come round, I was like, thank fuck for that, back to it.
Back to it. Yeah, it's nice when you start dieting again. Yeah, when you feel that drop in food, you're like, oh, I feel so much better now.
Really? But even like training, when I was eating all that shit, my training took a massive hit. Like, I went from progressing all the time to going in, and I was like, fuck, I can't even lift the weight that I lifted. And now is that what that I lifted for like 12 reps last week, and I was like, fuck me. And then now I'm smashing all in lifts out at the park again. So
you're eating good, that's what it is, and you're eating less. You're dropping body weight, but you're eating more consistently again. Yeah. You're eating good quality food. And yeah, so where was I? This is ADHD, but like this is prime ADHD podcast.
Yeah.
It is, because we'll keep doing this. Back and forth. We'll go from that topic to that topic to that topic.
And then we won't finish
and then we won't even finish what we're saying, and we might go back to it in a bit.
Yeah.
So where was I? Where were you? Where were I?
Eating good. If you didn't eat the same.
No. So obviously I got to the point where I dieted. Yeah, I did that diet. Obviously finished that, and then old habits crept back in. And then one day I thought, you know what? Because I lost my job during lockdown. Because I was selling phones for 5 years.
How long you did it?
Yeah, I did it for 5 years. I started in Nottingham. So when I lived in Notts, and then I transferred over to Leeds. Did it for 5 years, and then during lockdown, the footfall in the shop that I was at, because I moved to a franchise, was going down. But because I was the more recent employee, they had to get rid of people because they wasn't making as much money, and I lost my job. And then because of that, I then started delivering pizzas for Pizza Hut during a time when things were starting to clear up again. You had to wear masks and stuff, but you could go out. And yeah, started delivering pizzas, but I'm not going to lie to you, I fucking hated it. I hated it. Everyone was so depressed. Everyone was so like morbid when you worked there. No one wanted to be there. No one enjoyed the job. And I thought...
But they'll stay there.
I know they stayed there and do nothing about it. And I thought, you know what? I can't do this for much longer. So I thought, I'm going to do something that I want to do. I'm not tied into a job now where I was getting decent money, because I was getting decent money selling phones. I'm not going to lie to you, for the hours that I was doing, it was decent, and I didn't really see much more than that. I didn't really see much more progression, but I knew I was fucking better than Pizza Hut. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to work there, but what is bad is their mindset and how they act when they're there. I think the environment you work in dictates
how you feel
who
day
you
to
surround
day,
yourself with,
who you surround yourself in your environment.
Such a cliche thing to say, but it 100% is like
it does. It makes a massive difference, bro. And the issue is, I was on the verge of like being really down there because of just how everyone acted there. It was just fucking. It was just shit. It was just shit. And I weren't having or being in an environment that I just felt like I wanted more than. I wanted more than. Whilst the other place that I worked at, I enjoyed the environment, and I got comfortable, got content, and then when I lost that sort of contentment, and then I moved to that, I was like, nah, I ain't putting up with this anymore. So that's when I applied to be a PT. Probably the biggest risk of my life, to be honest, because I rang my mum when I said I was going to apply to be a PT and I was quitting Pizza Hut. And bearing in mind, I had outgoings, I had bills coming out, and again, this is where I feel like another confidence step came, because it was something that I had to believe in myself to do. So it wasn't just training as the catalyst, but it was that. I then applied to be a PT, got the job, but I had to quit Pizza Hut as a result of it, because I had to work as a PT for free, 15 hours a week, whilst trying to get a client base. But I had bills coming out, I had things to pay, and my mum said to me, "What are you going to do? You've got bills that you need to pay. Like you're an adult now." And I went, "I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to make it work, because put me in the deep end, or put me in the deep end of a pool, I'm probably going to sink in real life, but theoretically, metaphorically, I'll do all right, because I like that pressure to be able to get me to do the work." And I made it work. And that was the first time I ever really believed in myself. And from there, I've shown myself I can do it. And then training started to progress a little bit more, because I wanted to walk the walk for my clients. And then I started to see the benefit of eating a little bit cleaner. And then 2023 came around, and I thought, I want to do a bodybuilding prep. I've trained for long enough. I've bulked a few times, and I did a couple of bulks within that time as a PT at JD. Successful bulks as well. Could have been better. Could have improved in certain areas. Made a lot of mistakes. Learned a lot of things. But then because of that, I was like, right, I'm going to prep now. So I prepped in 2023. That was the end result. It was about a 13-week prep. Again, made a lot of mistakes. Diced for what I could do in 13 weeks.
For such a short prep, like, you got diced.
I did what I could, but it was fucked, because I had to do that alongside PT 7 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Then I fit my meals in, 45 minutes of cardio 7 days a week. And again, prepping and doing that bodybuilding prep in 2023 showed me what I could do, because there was no excuses. Cardio got done regardless. Food got eaten, meals got prepped regardless. PTing and work got done regardless. Nothing got missed. And it showed me again what's possible when you just put your mind to something. And then 2024, did it again for 21 weeks.
That was daft.
That was diced. That was really where I was fucked. But I was diced, and that's what the goal was.
Absolutely fucking peeled to the bone.
And I was 14 pounds up, and I was leaner than the previous year. And all of these things have, I believe, led me to the point where I feel like I am the most confident version of myself. And I do feel like that's only going to improve as time goes on. Still, I still think there's ways to improve.
But how like, even from a physique standpoint, how fast you've improved recently, like since post show, like your physique. Let me get words up. Your confidence in your physique and like in bodybuilding will probably go up again, just because of how much progress you've made recently, like in such a short period of time. Like post show, compared to how, like if you compare the looks from post show the first time 2023 and post show the second time last year, like obviously put them up, you'll see like you'll see such a fucking mad difference, and how he's responded, how he's like reversed out of the fucking prep. Like it's that's confidence is going to come from that alone. And then obviously with the rest of life itself.
Yeah, life mixed with work, mixed with friendship groups, your environment, mixed with training, building muscle. I feel like it all kind of goes hand in hand. PT and being a service-based business where you've got to talk to people, you've got to do classes, you've got to have that one-to-one interaction with people and try to get the best out of them. Also then seeing their confidence grow from the work that you're doing.
That's the best.
I swear to God, that it's the best feeling.
But I get more excitement out of seeing my clients doing well than I do my own progress. Because I love it.
You then see the work that you're doing for them them and how much it's benefiting them, and then that breeds that confidence and gives you more confidence within yourself. And again, all of these things alongside building muscle and feeling like I'm a little bit more of a man, to be honest, like feeling a bit more of a man, like that has helped me get to the point where I feel like I've got the confidence that I have now, doing the content on YouTube, doing the content on Instagram. Like all of the stuff that I've done has led me to be able to do stuff like this. But none of this would have happened if I didn't start training at 15. None of this. I wouldn't have been able to gain the confidence that I've gotten because training truly was the catalyst, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it is in a lot of stuff though. Like training for me has absolutely changed my life. I won't be as disciplined as I am. I won't eat as
put the sunshine.
Yeah, won't eat as well. I'll just wait a sec. Well,
that's not Karen.
I don't know if Mike will pick it up.
No, I should do.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, like the catalyst for me, like I said, I mentioned the festival. Not wanting to take my top off, but getting into the gym, getting into eating well, like all them changes did an absolute fucking madness for me. Like my mental health was probably at its worst when I started. And it is like everyone says it, don't they? Oh, you'll feel better if you go to the gym, if you do this, you do that. But it is facts. Like my mental health, everything, like my life. What was it called? When someone get the what's it called? The fucking my quality of life. Jesus Christ, my quality of life went up so much when I started training. I do feel like that, and like. Training has been the catalyst just of my life improving so much. Obviously, us living together. Obviously, that we bounce off each other quite a lot with stuff. But that just leads back to how you surround yourself about it. If I lived with a fucking bum, I'd probably be a bum as well.
Your environment dictates who you are. But I also think if I lived with a bum, I'd turn him into someone. So it's like.
Well, yeah.
I think you can let your environment dictate you, or you can dictate your environment. But I think again that's similar to like people's upbringings, and again this is why I feel like it's more of a podcast because I want to go into other things as well. Stem off.
Oh, God.
But it's like people that have rough upbringings. I know people that have rough upbringings with family, with their home life, with their parents, with their relationships, and then they let that dictate. Some people will let that dictate them as a person and then blame that on why they are the way they are. Whilst you've got other people, say for example, someone makes a lot of money, but they've come from nothing. You've got two camps. You've got one camp where the guy makes a lot of money from nothing because he's not allowed his environment to dictate his actions to get him to the point because he knew what he wanted. And you've got the other guy, blames everything, blames his environment, blames his parents, blames his environment, his sort of friendship group, his school, and everything around him is the reason why he's not making any money. Two different camps, same situation. All of it's going to come down to your mindset, not your environment. So one thing that I like to adopt in my own life now is I will never allow my environment to dictate my actions. I will just try to dictate my response. My reaction to anything is always going to be the biggest driver towards whether I make progress and also the people around me, because if someone's going through a bad day, if someone's having a shit period of time in their life and they don't feel good, I want to make sure that I'm the guy that brings them up a little bit. And you don't understand how much that can positively impact someone's life just by you having that positive mindset, you being the sort of
you could be their catalyst.
You could be their catalyst for them changing. And I think that's what I try and do for my clients a lot of the time as well. So they might come to me in a rough place. They might come to me in a position where they don't feel good with the missus. They don't want to shag with the lights on or something, or they don't feel good when they're abroad.
I still don't like doing it with lights on.
I love the lights on.
As long as there's a mirror, you fucking vein.
Mirror and a set of lights. Love it.
Strobe lights in that.
Oh, sorry, Courtney. Yeah, where was I? So like, I want to be the catalyst for people to make a lot of progress, and I think as long as I want to see my people winning as much as I want to see myself win, but I believe for me to be able to see them win, I've got to help myself win. Yeah. So I can't help anyone else unless I help myself, and it's what I say to my clients when they surround, like their family isn't used to them being a certain way. They try to change their lifestyle, but then they let themselves creep into into old habits, which got them to where they're feeling shit in the first place. Their relationship might be breaking down. Their relationship with their families might not be where they want it to be. Their colleagues and how they feel about the sort of confidence around colleagues and their friends isn't there. But then they let those bad habits creep back in because of their environment and what people around them know them as. And they don't change, but that then means they don't actually get any better. But I say to them, like, you can't be the best person or version of you for everyone else.
You've got to do it for you.
You have to do it for you, which then is naturally going to help you improve for other people.
But but when you do start making changes and stuff, and you do start turning down the meals, or you start turning down, and it don't have to be forever. Like we have a very similar ethos when it comes to like restriction.
If I want a cookie, I'm having a cookie. Like, I understand if I eat 10, I'm going to be a fat cunt. Like,
not if you just eat 10, you're not going to be fat from eating.
Well,
10.
no, no, but I mean, if I eat 10
Every
and then
day.
the next day I'll probably eat another fucking 5, and then I just start eating what I want, I'm going to be fat. Like, it's simple as that. If you want to, if you want to change,
you are going to have to cut.
You're going to have to cut stuff out. Like, a cookie is not going to satisfy you. A fucking takeaway, a pizza, isn't going to satisfy you that much. And if anything afterwards, if you're trying to lose weight, you're going to feel shit afterwards anyway. You shouldn't feel shit. You shouldn't. Because
Guilt comes, like, for me. I'm so.
But it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice. You've chose to eat a certain thing. You should never feel guilty for eating a certain food. But what you should feel is a level of accountability.
But I feel like if you do feel guilty, you know you've like
fucked up.
Yeah, like I've had times obviously where I've messaged Tom and I've been like, look, I had a takeaway. Obviously, this is like a while ago now. Like fucking, it's over a year.
No, yeah, I remember this.
I was like, I had a takeaway last night. I feel really guilty about it.
I said, so what?
And he was like,
why do you feel guilty?
Like, why do you feel guilty? I was like, because I feel like I fucked up. And he was like, but the fact you're feeling guilty is like, should have solidified the fact that you didn't make the right choice that time. And I was like, you know what I did? And then I went out for food and stuff a few months later, and I texted him and I was like, look, I went out for a big scrum last night. I said there was absolutely zero guilt attached to that meal.
Yeah, I said, did you enjoy it? He went, yeah. And I went, that's what matters.
Yeah.
But like, there's a difference. If someone comes to me and they want to change, and they've got goals of losing 10, 15 kilos, or they want to do a photo shoot, and they want to get in the best shape of their life, their actions need to reflect on their goals. So what you said to me, you went out and you had a good time, but your phase at that point allowed you to do that because you knew, say for example, I think to be fair, you were dieting.
I was dieting.
But you already made a significant amount of progress.
I think
and you understood.
I was about 10 kilo down.
Exactly. And you made a significant amount of progress, and you understood that one night was not going to ruin the following day.
Like I just got straight back on.
Just got straight back on.
I didn't like. That's a bad thing as well. That a lot of people do. You let like one. There's the saying in they don't let a bad day become a bad week. Like it's easy to go out and eat a takeaway, and then let that fuck up the whole week. And if you have a takeaway on a Friday and you're like Saturday, oh fuck it, I've already ruined Friday. I've ruined the week. May as well have a takeaway again today, or I might as well drink this. And then Sunday comes, you still feel like shit. You have another takeaway, you feel even worse. And then Monday comes, you fucking get back on it, and you do that. If you rinse and repeat that, you're going to put yourself into a surplus over the week anyway, so you're probably not going to make as much progress as you could have done.
You'll be fat for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you can work as hard as you want during the week, but if you're smashing in fucking 30,000 calories over a weekend, you're not going to lose any weight.
No. Like, and what I say to people is, be realistic. Like, if you want to get a takeaway, and you want to go and treat yourself to a cookie or a cake or whatever, like, that's okay. But at the end of the day, if you're pissed off with how you look, if you're not happy with how you feel, and you know that right now what you are doing is not leading you towards that place where you know you want to be, don't complain.
No, that fucking proper gets me. That
Pisses me off. Fucking pisses me off.
Don't moan about results.
Don't moan about the work that you are not doing. Like, there's a reason why there's people that make silly progress and then go, I really want to look like they'll go, I really want to do that. I really want to look like that. And they don't live like that. And some people won't be able to live like you won't be able to live like a bodybuilder. You won't be able to live like me and Harry. You might not be able to. You might have a family. Your situation, circumstance might be different. But
it's not exactly easy or enjoyable, is it?
No, of course
everyone would do it.
Exactly. But the difference is, everyone's got the ability to do something. At the end of the day, for you to make progress within your physique, there's things that you've got to do. One, you need to put the fork down.
Put the fork down, pick the shoes up.
put the fork down, pick the shoes up, get yourself to the fucking gym. But like, just eat a little bit less. Your food choices are going to matter. You might need to eat. Well, I say eat a little less. Sometimes it's about eating. Sometimes it's about eating a little bit more, but of good quality foods rather than kind of snacking across the day and having a shit meal at the back end of the day and shoving in 3,000 calories in one sitting. Like, give your body the chance to kind of get good quality nutrients in and utilize that across the day. It's going to make you feel better. You're going to train better. You're going to be able to have more energy, and you're going to be able to give more to life. You're going to get more out of life.
But with eating less, it's not like just eating less of this. How do I articulate this? Saying eat less and move more, which is a very common thing for people to say, isn't always the case, because
less calories, yes.
Yeah, less calorie. Eat less calories. It's not just eat less of calorie dense food. You could eat like fucking 10 spoonfuls of peanut butter, feel absolutely nothing, still be starving, but you've just punched in some steady calories. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. It's not just about eating less of the same food, it's about making the right food choices and eating less calories.
And more nutrient dense food.
Yeah. Like, you can eat more food for less calories. Volume eating, I fucking swear by volume eating, I love it. I will absolutely pile my plate up with veg any chance I can.
It's simple, it's just not easy.
No, it's not easy.
It's simple, it's just ain't easy. And the difficulty is there's so many different factors that come into play. Like, it's not just a case of eating a calorie deficit, because social situations, you have family and lifestyle, you have environmental issues, financial issues. It's sort of what's the other one? It's going to be your background and how you've been brought up. Like, there's so many different factors that come into play when it comes to making that initial change. And if you're older as well, when you're like above the age of 30 and you're just wanting to change now, you've had 30 years of doing the same thing and repeating the same habits and having the same lifestyle for a long time. So breaking that is going to be fucking harder than someone who's 19 or 20 or 21 or 22 and is kind of just getting to the point where they're going into adulthood.
So I've got a client, I'll shout him out, Big Rajan. He's 20 something, early 20s.
He's living his best life.
Yeah, he's at uni. He still goes out, still drinks. Just tidying up for his holiday now. But he just fucking adapts to everything. Same as a couple of the boys. Mitch, I'll shout Mitch out as well. He fucking graphs. Just adapts. Like, genuinely, it's so easy to. The younger generation, I feel like, take things on a lot easier because they've had less time to build them bad habits. So they might have been in the bad habits for a couple of years, whereas someone who's 30 might be had in fucking 20 odd year. You know what I mean?
But also, age don't matter, because I've got a couple of guys, and I'm gonna shout them out because I know for a fact one of them's gonna watch it. Right, Gary, you smash the fuck out of everything, mate. Like, you always put the work in. He's not someone that puts himself out there on social media, but he puts the work in day in, day out. He's got a family. He's got a family. He's got a hectic job. He's got a busy job, and he still puts the work in and tries his damned hardest to be able to get to where he wants to be. And he's got a bit of a goal-driven mindset where he has to work towards something, and it's a little bit like myself. I've got another client, Matt. Matt, again, puts the work in. He runs his own business. He's got a busy lifestyle. He's got a couple of kids. Like, he's a busy man, yet makes a lot of progress. But he started a little bit later. He did a keto diet before working with me. Did lose a little bit of weight, but felt like he was restricting and binging, which a lot of the time is quite common. But your age doesn't dictate the level of progress that you can make. Like,
you can teach an old dog to do tricks if they want to fucking learn them. You know what I mean?
Like, if you're above the age of 35, and you've not made a start yet, just make a start. Today's the day. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's a new day. If you're watching this in the afternoon or the evening, tomorrow's a new day.
Unless you're watching this on Sunday, don't start Monday. Everyone does.
If it's Sunday morning, start now.
Yeah, don't start tomorrow.
But if it's Sunday evening, fucking start tomorrow.
Yeah. Start Monday.
Start Monday.
But it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter when you start. All you've got to do is you've got to have a goal. You've got to have a why and a reason to get started. And I feel like this is so much more important for guys as well, because a goal is okay, but I've had calls with guys before they want to work with me. If they do decide to work with me, there tends to be one common theme. The guys that say yes to working with me and are willing to invest financially have a deep-rooted why. The guys that go, I just want to lose a bit of fat, mate. I think my t-shirt's a little bit more. I'm saying, like, they aren't willing to invest financially when I tell them the price, because they aren't. There's no why. They don't care really. When the guys that have all signed up with me, they've tried again and again and again. And they failed time and time and time again. And they just get to a breaking point where they're fucking sick to death of looking the same, feeling the same, and not making any progress. They're the ones that are willing to pay, and they're the ones that actually make the most amount of progress because they're willing to fucking try.
On the other end of the stick, like, I feel like my client base are all younger lads. Like, they're all similar age or younger to me.
Yeah.
But a lot of them still have a why. Like, even if it's not a solid fucking, I want to do it for my wife and kids, because I don't really have anyone that's got a wife and kids, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
they want to look good for summer. Like, they all
still
have a why.
There's still a why behind that, because why do they want to look good for summer?
So they can have the top off.
So they can have the top off.
Like Mitch.
So they can be comfortable with the top off.
Mitch is fucking like 10.5 kilo down now, absolutely smashing it, and he's busy. He's a busy man. He works full time. Like, he's in the army, and he fucking absolutely smashes it all the time. I'll send him a check-in. I'll be like, do this, 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 and this. He's like, yeah, sound. Implements it straight away. His fucking progress has been nuts. Like, I think it's been about January we started. What month in? Like 3.5 months. Well, no, just about 3 months. He's like 10.5 kilo down. So 12 weeks, 10.5 kilo down. 2 of them weeks he's been away with work, not been able to track, not been able to train. And he just fucking grabs. Do you know what I mean? And he's got a why. He wants to look good for summer. And he just consistently puts in the work and does what needs to be done, and it fucking shows.
That's why age don't matter.
Nah,
age don't matter. Like,
he's 20.
as long as you've got a why, that's when you're going to make the most progress. Because even then, when your motivation dips, when you don't feel like doing what needs to be done, yeah, you might have some days where you can't be fucked and you don't do them. But guess what? You're going to have that day, and you're going to feel sorry for yourself for a day, and then you're going to get back on it the next, because you've got a deep rooted why. Whilst if your goal is just to be a little bit, for your clothes to fit a little bit better, like a tiny bit better, and you want to drop a couple of kilos on the scale, guess what? You can't be fucked to do anything. You're not going to do anything. And when it gets a little bit hard, guess what? Oh, meal prepping, that's too long. Tracking your calories, oh, I'm not doing that. It's too time consuming. Oh,
too restrictive.
Cardio, not doing that, mate. No. Or training. Fucking hell, I've stubbed my toe, I can't train. Like, there's always a fucking excuse.
My dog's fish has died.
My fucking, my pet hamster's toes fell off. My fish, I've had to bury it in thing.
Let's put it down the toilet, I can't train to you, sorry.
But there's always a fucking excuse. And you know what? The reason why I understand why people make excuses is because that was me 4 years ago. Where everything I didn't do was always, there was always an excuse behind it. It was never a case of, this is the problem that this was my problem. Here's the solution, or let me learn from this. Let me reflect on this. It was more of a case of there was no self-accountability. There was no level of reflection. And if I had a problem, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to blame X, Y, and Z on the fucking problem. And the reason why I wouldn't make any progress was the fact that I never took accountability. It was the fact that if I wanted to go out for a meal, I'd go overboard and take the piss, but then I'd allow that thing to fuck me over for the next day, and then I'd be like, "Wow, but I had yesterday off, so you know what? I'll fuck today off as well."
See, I was like, I was the opposite. I had a massive front on me. I was like, "Oh, I'm fat and happy." Like the fat.
That's what they all say.
The happy fat lad.
That's what they all say.
If you're fat 90% of the time, right,
you're not happy
with how you look. Because if someone gave you that opportunity, they were like, "If you press this button, you'll be 100 kilos lean. And you can still eat whatever you want." 98% of people would press that button. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if there's an easy way to do something, 90% of people would do it. But because there's a hard graft that comes with it, a lot of people don't want to do it.
Let me tell you, people are not fat and happy.
Nah,
they are not fat and happy.
I've been there.
They are
fronting. That's what
fronting.
They're doing. I put a massive front on me. I thought, oh yeah. I used to tell people, I'm like, nah, listen, I'm fat and happy. Like, I'm eating my food, and then I'd go.
I love my food, me.
Yeah.
I love my food. I'm fat and happy. I love to eat. Right? Guess what? Don't we all?
Yeah,
we're human.
No, that fucked me off. Oh, I couldn't do what you do, like tracking calories.
I love
food too
much.
Fuck off.
So do
I.
love
food too much.
So do I.
That's why I ended up looking like that.
But guess what? I could have a Mackey's now and probably drop weight because of it, because I eat so much fucking food.
Yeah, it's constant.
Like, it's even better because people don't understand, when you do get to the point where you've got a bit more muscle and you do eat more food, like consistently, when you do have something like a McDonald's or you have a pizza or something like that.
That's not actually that calorie dense when you put it into perspective, when you like, if you're eating a heavy
amount of calories daily, because you will probably drop weight the next day because you're used to eating more food.
I did have that pizza, didn't I?
Yeah.
Like, I scanned a fucking big pizza and I expected to put like 3 kilo on scales and woke up in the morning with a new low. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, and
we're bulking, I'm like fuming.
But the excuse of, I just love my food too much. Just excuses in general, right? There is going to be times when genuinely you can't do more. There is going to be times when you genuinely couldn't do something, which then meant you had to then make a sacrifice. Say, for example, you missed a meal. Say, for example, you had to go for a meal out. Say, for example, you had to go.
You have to though. Like if
but there's always an alternative choice that you can make that's probably going to be more in alignment with your goal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you don't just fucking slip and fall into Mackies.
I've done it a few times.
I've done it a few times after a night out.
Yeah.
Probably have had one too many.
I fall into my.
I fall into my.
I can smell it from that road. I'm like,
smell those chicken nuggets.
Tonight.
Yeah, I love it. But there's just excuses, and I don't do well with excuses because
not unless they're valid. Like there is times where they're valid.
There's always going to be there's always going to be a time for valid excuses. But what I want to hear is
I didn't do this, but I did this instead.
Yeah, or it's a case of I didn't do this last time. I didn't do this today, but what I did learn from it is this. Or it's like a level of self accountability and reflection. Honesty and transparency for me, especially when someone's working with me, is the most important thing. Yeah. Because if I give someone a certain amount of calories, I know for a fact with that amount of food they're going to drop weight, and they don't. I know they're not doing what I'm asking them to do. So rather than someone lying to me, what I prefer and what I would ask is just be honest. Tell me what's not working.
That's all I ask for my
just
be honest. Honesty. Like,
and that's what I told you from the get-go.
If you have, well, I've fucked up a few times along the way. Like I'm not perfect, but every time I do, I've told you. You know what I mean? I'll just be like, look, this happened.
Yeah, but then what's worst case scenario?
Fuck all, I'll just get back on it.
Just get back on it. It's always going to be the case. And all I ask from people is just to have a level of honesty, transparency, and be that with yourself. Even if you don't have a coach, like, don't make excuses for yourself. If you're fat and out of shape right now, do something about it. But understand it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be smooth sailing. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have days where you can't be fucked. But it's about the longer term that matters. It's not about that one day that you can't be fucked. Because there's 52 weeks in a year, 365 days for you to make progress. You might have 50 days out of 365 where you absolutely cannot be fucked. You don't do anything. But then that's how many days then have we got left?
115.
What?
365.
And I said 56, bro.
Did you? I thought you said 15 days.
No, and then there's another like 300 days for you to progress, right? So it's a case of thinking that forget about the day that you missed, remember the weeks that you've done. Like forget about that day that you fucked up, think about the day after where you got back on it. There's so many opportunities to make progress in life. One setback is never going to be a setback. It's about taking two steps backwards and 3 steps forwards and slingshotting. So the level of reflection and self-accountability that you take will allow you to then make the leaps forward to make the progress that you want to see longer term.
Every failure or fuck up's a lesson.
And it's never going to be a fuck up unless you allow it to be.
Yeah.
It might feel like a fuck up mentally at the time.
Yeah.
You might mentally feel like you're letting yourself down. You're only letting yourself down if you fucking sack it in.
Which a lot of people do as soon as you start having a few bad days or a bad week.
Or even too many beers.
You know what I mean? Like,
one too many drinks.
So fucking you won't throw your clothes on for you won't, if you were carrying your washing up washer and you dropped a sock, you won't throw the rest of the clothes on the floor, would you?
You're not going to pop all your ties if you pop one. So it's like
one tooth falls out, you don't put the rest out. You know
exactly.
It's like you fill that tooth back in.
Yeah, go turkey.
Yeah, I might have to, mate.
Same.
Airline as well.
Yeah, airline's going to be a sticky one. But at the moment, I've got fake spray on. So
ain't looking that bad, to be fair.
Your airline's fine.
This Rick picked it up.
It's actually big. It's fine. But yeah, I'm just one of them where it's like, just if you do the same thing repeatedly, and you know that that's the thing that's holding you back, but you do nothing to change it, I've got zero sympathy. If you are someone that accepts that you are not doing what's needed to be done, you take accountability for it, you own that you might need to improve, and you do, even if it's not perfect the next time, you try to be better, I rate that highly.
Progress over perfection.
I'd
rather someone be like, I did this, I fucked up a little bit, but not as much as I did last time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's better. That's better. Something is better than nothing. And over time, that little bit of progress that you've made is just going to get a little bit better. To the point where it's like, you know what? I'm making progress now, and then you catch a bit of a bug. It's like this thing. You start seeing that effect. It's a snowball effect. You build momentum, and you start to see that progress come through, and you just want more.
But then little bumps, as the snowball gets bigger, then little bumps aren't as affecting you like they used to. You know what I mean? If you've got a little snowball like a fist size, and
because you've been through it. Because you've been through bumps. You've made mistakes before, and guess what? You've still made the progress from the start point to there.
You learn to navigate them.
So you're able to navigate.
Once you learn to navigate the mistakes, it becomes so much easier.
So much easier.
Like if you fuck up one meal, you know, oh, I can just pull back a little bit in the next one.
Yeah.
Rather than still eating everything that's on plan. Say you're on a plan and you fuck up one meal, you put a bit too much in one meal, you just pull a bit out of the next one. You know what I mean? If you fuck up with the protein, you put a bit too much mince into, you just pull a bit of chicken out of the next one. If you fuck up on carbs, you put a bit too much rice or pasta in, you just pull it out of the next one. It's like, to every action, there's a reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's something you can do to stop fully fucking everything.
Always.
Yeah, there's always something. And if they're in, just get back on it next day.
Yeah. And another thing as well is what I want to say, moving away from excuses. Having timelines set. So,
Best for you.
it's the one thing that I feel like has allowed me to be able to get the level of results that I do get with clients. And it's just because you've known every step of the way what you're doing and when.
Yeah, yeah.
How motivating is that?
It's so much better. Yeah, guys, a lot of people, right, they work better with a deadline.
Yeah.
If you say to someone, look, we're going into a fat loss phase.
10 weeks, and after this 10 weeks, we're going back into a gaining phase.
But
if you fuck this diet, and if you don't get the kind of result that I want you to get from the 10 weeks, it will just mean that you've got a shorter runway of progression when it comes to the amount of progress that you can make in the building phase when we're increasing food, because the diet will dictate the level of progression that you can make when you're building. So I always say, like, we've got 10 weeks for you to smash it.
But when you do that though, when you give someone like a deadline, they work harder.
Yeah, always.
Because if I said to you, look, I'm going to put you in a fat loss phase now. Just not tell you how long it is. We're going into a fat loss phase.
It's boring.
It's boring
because you don't know when it's going to end. It's like, oh no, I hate dieting. I'm hungry. Right.
But like you say, if I said to you, right, we're going into a big fucking 16-weeker. After this 16-week, we're going to push for like 5 months.
Or we're doing doing a 16-week diet. On week 7 or week 8, we're going to put a diet break in. So I mean, you've got to push for 8 weeks. You've got to have 1 week of maintenance, and then we're going to go back into the final stint of fat loss. It's so much more motivating because you can see the vision. What I like to do is plan out phases for clients where it's like, we're doing this amount for fat loss for this many weeks. We're then going to go into this. This is why we're doing this. This is how long we're going to be spending gaining.
I do that.
And it
works. It works.
And you got that from me because you've seen what it's done for yourself.
Yeah. 100%.
And I didn't know this at first when I first started coaching, and I realised when I've done mentorships and I've worked with other coaches and they did that, and I was like, you know what, I'm stealing that because it works.
I've done the same.
But you get it from, we always think to get past.
Everyone gets it from somewhere.
Everyone gets it from somewhere,
and if you're the first person to think about it, there's probably someone else that's already doing it. They just don't know.
They just don't know. Yeah. But yeah, it's like having a timeline is so important. So understand what you're doing and when, and don't just kind of go into a diet with the intention of dieting with no direction of finish, like a finish point. Say, I'm going to be doing this for 12 weeks. Achieve what you can in 12 weeks. And then it could be a case of, you might not be where you want to be in 12 weeks, but at least you know, right, if you're physically and mentally done by the end of the 12 weeks, you're done. It's fine. Yeah. So you can just go back into increasing food. But then if you're, say for example, you know you're not satisfied at 12 weeks, it could just be a case of having 2 weeks to chill and eat a bit more food and then get back on it again, because you might put on a couple of kilos in those 2 weeks because you just kind of get the freedom back. But even then, you get that. You might lose 10, you gain 2, that's still 8 kilos lost. Yeah. And then you get back on it again and then you lose the rest.
That's the snowball effect again. That's that stone in it, like that stone in the road.
10 weeks of fat loss, you lose 7 kilos. You have a week or 2 weeks of just doing what the fuck you want. You gain 2 or 3. And then guess what? You're still down overall. And you still look better than what you started. And it's the longer term that matters the most. And like I said, having that timeline,
but that's
just allows you to do that.
That's where being perfect isn't, like, you're never going to be perfect. And if you are, you're probably not going to enjoy your life.
Oh, one thing that really gets me when clients join, and I say it to them.
I know what you're going to say.
It's when they're like, so they've gone from living, like, they've gone from no focus, takeaways every day, drinking every week, fucking barely training or training but half-arsing it, to then going, getting a meal plan from me, getting a training plan from me, and then trying to throw do the steps, do some cardio, or they say, oh, do I need to do cardio? Do I need to do this many steps? What about this meal plan? What about sauces? What about chill?
Sauces is always a
just
good one.
Just fucking chill.
What sauces can
mate, this meal's fucking bland,
this meal's dry.
This meal's dry. Have you got sauce on it? Oh,
No.
No, that's calories. Just look,
It's
you've got from eating so much shit. Just get the fucking sauce on.
It says it in the meal plan.
Just get it and get the fucking sauce on it.
It doesn't say sauce.
No, it doesn't say sauce, but I'm telling you now, get some fucking sauce on, please.
Mate, you're not
Please.
a bodybuilder.
Otherwise, you're going to be depressed. But even then, if you're a bodybuilder, you can still have sauce.
I still have sauce.
Anyone
I'm
has-
prepping. I'm still smashing sriracha.
Anyone can have sauce. And it's just like,
Just don't take the piss of it and choose the right options. Like, I love sriracha. It's low as fucking calories. It tastes. It just burns your mouth, so you don't want more food.
or take the piss. Because guess what? It's probably better than having a fucking pizza most nights.
Yeah, facts.
So, but it's just like when they come through the door and they try to be perfect. And what I like to say is, just focus on one thing at a time. And the most important thing when it comes to making progress is going to be the food that you eat. So, if say for example, most of the time when someone comes to me and they're doing nothing at all at the moment, I don't give them a cardio target. I don't give them a step target. I give them meals. I give them alternatives, and I say, let's try and stick with this for a week. Let's try and stick with this. So all I want you to focus on is prepping your meals. If you want to have any alternatives in there, or you want any ideas of alternatives, let me know. And then here's a training program that you can follow, because they might be training already. That gives them some focus. Then we see what the first week does, and see how we get on with the first week, and then we add something else in for the second week, and it's building on that over time. And if the first week don't go to plan, we just try to refine the first thing that we put in place. So it's about understanding the person, the individual.
Yeah.
But don't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect, because no one's ever going to be, and I'm not.
No.
So
Fucking hell, we love a sweet treat.
I love a sweet treat. Got one in the freezer right now.
Oh, don't.
Got one in the freezer right now. Probably gonna have it at some point very soon.
Yeah, not when I'm at home.
That's how fucking roll. Do it in your face, right in front of you, with some scoops of ice
Smack
cream.
it out your hand and stamp all over it.
That's aggressive.
What?
Never do that.
Never do that.
But anyway, that's we went on a bit of a tangent there, but I just feel like, yeah, I know.
What point are we there?
I don't even know how many minutes are we in.
Fucking
Quite
hour
a
and
few.
6.
Fucking quite a few minutes that.
An hour 8.
Is it?
Is it?
Nah, surely.
An hour 6, 12.
Well, either way,
What's the next one?
Either way, that's talking about our clients and obviously what we kind of find as our pet peeves. Like, don't try and be
get
perfect.
pet peeves.
Don't
Fucking
David
hell.
Grant, don't talk about
I love them
don't
peeves.
talk about pet peeve. Don't be what? What are you on about?
Don't be perfect.
Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, don't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. Don't make excuses. Just try to reflect on things that you've done wrong that's not in alignment with your goals, and then make
Work
sure
hard.
you improve from there.
Work hard, work towards your goals.
And work for what you want. Work for what you want. Do you want to be a certain man?
Make the choices that align with the man that you want to be.
Exactly, and I feel like there's something in the air at the moment with masculinity, yeah? And I am not someone that believes in heavy masculinity. But I do feel like there's a positivity towards masculinity that I feel like needs to come back in. You've got toxic masculinity, which is, I think it can be prominent in certain individuals, right? Toxic masculinity is not going to be good, but there's positive masculinity. And it's you bringing a certain energy that comes with looking after your body, looking after your mind, building a bit of muscle. I do feel like brings a level of masculinity as well.
Yeah.
And also how like the foods you eat, the level of testosterone that you got in your body because you look after your body, like not take gear, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the food you eat, the cardio you do, the training you do, like that will naturally improve your testosterone, which is going to make you feel more of a man. And when you feel more of a man, that naturally is going to boost your confidence.
I was just about to say this going to be on YouTube, isn't it? So.
Yeah, actually, no. So, what do you want to say?
I just know when you were like talking about testosterone boosting food. I was just about to say just pinning your ass. But I was like, I don't know if that'll come across like we're fucking encouraging it. We might have to cut that out.
We're not cutting that out. It's staying in.
I don't give a fuck.
It's staying in. Right, to be fair,
Does help though.
we've covered. It does help. I'm not going to lie to you. It does help. But at the same time, all right, let's get into that then.
Oh god.
Let's get into that then. Yeah. But I started at a point where that was my ideology. That was what I thought.
Cheat
I was
code.
like, I thought it was a cheat code.
You
Thought I'm gonna get it.
that radical man.
Aye, if you don't know, right, I take a bit of gear. It's great. But at the same time, it's one of those where I would never encourage it, and I don't feel like it's worth it for a lot of people if your lifestyle doesn't warrant it. But I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, "Oh, won't do it if you don't want to compete."
No.
That's irresponsible. if you want to fucking look a bit better and you feel like taking a bit of gear and looking after you, like building some muscle,
Doing it properly,
and doing it properly,
getting
buying the health supplementation, getting your blood work done, making sure that you look after your body, not fucking going out on the sniff and the piss every weekend. Like, look after your body, and then maybe that could be your poison, right? But it's the people that take the gear, they also do a little bit of that, they drink every weekend, they eat shit and takeaways all the time, but they think that putting the gear in is then going to just automatically make them look fucking sick. When
it enhances what you're already doing.
Enhances what
you're eating
you're
like
doing.
shit, you train like shit, it's
You're
just
going to look like
enhancing your
shit. And I looked like shit for a long time because when I first started, I used it as a bit of a... I used it for one purpose, right? That purpose for me was I thought it was going to outwork my laziness. And also, I wanted to become a successful PT. And the way that I see it is, I know a lot of people don't agree with this, your body and how you look will determine how successful you are as a coach. Depending on what niche you're in, I'll say that. But I wanted to go into physique transformation. How the fuck can I help someone with their physique if I don't look like I've changed mine? So my usage for gear and the implementation of taking steroids was purely down to the fact that I just wanted to feel like I was walking the walk. But I used that to mask the issues that I had. And the issues that I had never changed until I got them to change. And then the gear started to work.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Well,
And now I've made the most progress I ever have.
Well, do you not look like
Which
Rick
isn't-
Coleman after that first pin?
No, I fucking didn't.
So it works, isn't it?
Thought so. That's what I thought so, yeah.
That's what everyone
That's what a lot of
thinks.
people think. But it don't work like that. And people just don't look after themselves. They don't understand how to take gear. They don't understand how much to take. They don't know about blood work and what they're going to be looking for. They don't understand what health supplements to take. And they just think it's as easy as buying a vial of test and just pinning $1 mil a week and then or pinning $2 mil a week and just hoping for the best. It doesn't work
Even
like
at that point, it could be, the dosage could be fucking 500 or 1,000. Do you know what I mean? Well, 800 depending what test you get.
Well, no, it's mostly going to be 300 milligram per mil, right?
Yeah,
so if you're taking 2 mil a week, that's 600 milligram. My first cycle was 500 milligram a test per week. First cycle, stupid. But guess where I got that information from? Reddit.
Fucking Reddit, man. Everyone.
Like,
there's so many forums on Reddit that you read stuff you like.
Don't get your information off Reddit. And there's so much information out there right now that's actually valid and actually is quite good that can give you the information that you need.
The information around gear is so much more spoken about now.
So much widespread.
It's not. I wouldn't say glorified, but it's like there's so much more awareness around it.
There's awareness,
safety,
and people are okay with talking about it now. I'm okay with talking about it because I don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm not trying to influence it. I'm not going to say, like, being on gear, it has helped me because I live a better lifestyle overall. Does that make sense? Like, I live a better lifestyle overall. Like, I eat better, I train harder, I do cardio, I take health supplements. I'm wasting money. Yeah, man. I take my health supplements on a daily basis. Like, I feel like overall, my lifestyle was improved. But if you are going to try and just improve your life in general, you do not need to take that. It's not going to help speed the process up unless you are willing to do the work outside of that. And the education around it is the most important thing. So, yeah, it's not a cheat code. I made the mistake of thinking it's a cheat code. I kind of pressured myself into doing it. And it's not the thing that's actually going to get you the result. What is going to get you the result is the things that you do around that. The training, the food, the sleep, the recovery. All of that matters the most. And if you're not financially able to afford using steroids, you can't, which is the cheap bit, to be honest. If you can't afford to buy the blood work or buy the health supplements, then just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it in that point because you're going to fuck yourself up in the long run.
It ain't cheap.
The gear is, isn't it?
It's cheaper than protein.
It's cheaper than protein, mate. It's cheaper than protein, but you know what, in a blood test, like, you know what, in spending 40 quid on Sport Max and everything else that you buy, like, that's monthly. Yeah. And that's like 100 quid a month, 150 quid a month. It's not cheap. Adds up. It does add up. But yeah, gear is not a cheat code. So I just wanted to go on a bit of a rant about that because I feel like it's too common nowadays and I get questions about it
Yeah.
And I'm not just actually saying, you know, one of them guys. I get questions about this all the time.
I had 9 people come up to me in the gym and ask me about how to grow glute. No, you didn't, though, did you?
I had
No,
Steve
you
from
didn't.
down the road come and ask me about this thing, right? And I thought I'd explain it on a video. No, I genuinely do get guys in my DMs and saying, "What do you take?" And I'm honest. I'll say what I take. I'll say the amount. I don't care. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. I know a lot of people won't.
I know they won't. Why? You don't.
But,
I don't care.
like, I'll say that I'm not natty, but I don't always. It depends who it is.
I don't want to. It's not me saying, "Oh, I say the amount to him to influence them."
No,
Just
that's what I mean. But it depends. Like if I get some like 15.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not,
right, yeah.
I'm not even going to reply to that.
It depends. It depends on the person. If he looks like he's already on gear, I'm going to tell him.
I don't know.
If he looks like he already takes gear, I'm going to tell him.
If
If he's someone that's wanting to get on gear, then there's no need for me to tell him what I'm taking, because at the same time, he's not going to need to take what I take. But if he wants to get on, then it's a case of...
Not even like it's a lot though, is it? It's like, it's not crazy.
It's not crazy in comparison to some cyclists, but for a first cycle it would be.
Oh yeah, no,
For a
it's
first
stupid.
cycle it would be. But yeah, it's like, you don't... I wouldn't explain it to everyone. It's dependent on the person, but I don't mind giving it. I don't mind like saying it to someone if they are within that realm anyway. But if it is like a 15, 16-year-old lad that's come in the DMs and wants to jump on, I'll tell him to fucking eat some food first.
Yeah, fact.
And if it's like someone who's 19, 20, looks like they've barely just stepped foot in the gym, again, I'm not going to tell them, because they don't need to. They don't need it. It's more, they just need to focus on the basics. And I openly admit all the time, and I think you've said this as well, I jumped on too early.
Oh, far too early. I was so stupid.
You weren't stupid, because you
I
came
did,
to me.
I did it properly, but
Yeah.
even you was like, "Don't do it," and I was like, "I'm gonna do it anyway."
The reason why I said don't do it was because he'd not spent enough time living the lifestyle.
No.
And it's like what I said to you a lot about me starting. I didn't start at the right time because I wasn't living the lifestyle for long enough. Or to be honest, I wasn't living the lifestyle at all when I started.
I was gonna say that's the thing with me. Like I was living the lifestyle, just not long enough.
Not long enough. So
I was doing everything that I needed to do. I just wasn't doing it for long enough. Like I wasted a lot, but I didn't waste a lot. I didn't know how to phrase this.
No, you made a lot of progress in the space of time that you have, because you were living the lifestyle and you implemented gear. But the one thing that I rate about it is you've not let that slip.
No, but I also didn't fucking absolutely abuse it. Like,
No.
I spoke to people about like their first cycles and stuff.
That's because I didn't let you do that.
No, I wouldn't. But like, I've fucking barely taken out, really.
There you are.
I know people that cruise on more than what I take.
Yeah. And they probably look worse than you.
Well,
Sometimes people.
some too.
Some-
Yeah.
some do.
I've spoke to people about cycles before, and they've told me, and I'm like, fucking hell, you shouldn't be taking that much for what you look like. Right. But because I take so little, I don't.
Yeah, so we progressively built you up over time.
But even when I'm blasting, like I wouldn't say compared to the vast majority of people who take gear, I don't take a lot at all.
No, you don't.
Oh, this is also me coming out that I take gear as well. I'm not.
It's a coming out party. He's been in the closet for a long time.
No, I've never denied it.
No, you've never denied
I've
it.
never-
You've
I've
also
never
never
claimed-
really openly spoke about it either.
No, I've never claimed that. Like if people ask me, I tell them. But it's like I just never openly go out of my way to speak about it. But
Why?
that's you are
Why?
because there's such a
Yeah,
big
you're
like.
go into the detail. Why?
Why? Because I don't. In my head, I don't think I'm at the point yet where I look like a blast gear.
Alright.
So I don't. If I post it openly online, people are going to start griefing me and being like, "You don't even look like you take it."
It hurts so much because I know that feeling.
I just can't be asked. Do you know that's my thing, right? I just can't be asked people being like, "You don't look like you take it."
I know.
That's fine. I don't take it for how I look now. I take it what I'm going to look like in a year or two.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But you know what? You know when I realised I was actually starting to make a lot of progress? When those comments started to go from, was when I was making videos, those comments turned from, you don't look big enough to talk about this, to,
It's
it's just the roids that have made you look like that. Oh, right, is it? Clearly they're fucking working, aren't they? But it's not just that. It's the lifestyle, it's the length of time, the longevity, how I've phased everything out. And it's not, people think that's the thing that's made me the progress. No, what it is my consistency. It's my lifestyle. It's my nutrition. It's my training intensity. Everything's improved. My sleep is so much better than what it ever has been. Like,
Yeah, but like all your progress, no matter how much progress you make, it gets discredited when you're on gear.
Of course it does, and that's the frustrating bit.
It's because you're on gear. No, it's not.
I don't care what anyone says. Like, people can say, "Oh, it's not frustrating." It's not frustrating. People are going to say what they're going to say, but at the end of the day, it is frustrating because it discredits how hard I feel like I genuinely work. Like, I also find find it quite funny when I see roids. I'm like, at least it's getting recognised.
I don't get them. I've had a few, but no, like it's only when I've had a fucking dirty pump and some good lighting. But like I say, I'm not taking enough for people to be like fucking all these. Well, we'll see how prep goes. When I get lean, I get leaner, people like you're taking some, and especially when I bulk, I put size on quite quick. People like. I had someone message me the other day. To be fair, when do you know the photo that you used on the end of the transformation one, where it was a side chest in the mirror. He just sent me a message. He was like, "You're either a fucking freak or you're blasting gear." I just put fucking hell, you could have said hello first. You know what I mean? That's straight throwing steroid accusations about.
Well, it's one of them where I think it is frustrating because I understand that. People, you are going to make faster progress with gear.
It's like I know I made the progress I have.
Without it, you won't.
Well, I've only been on now what?
2.5, surely.
About two, but it was very, very like when we started, it was like very, very low.
Yeah. So we're just like probably just above TRT.
It was just above TRT for like a year and a
long time. Yeah, so like you've only really started to go into the cycles.
Like the last one. So
yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. So he's made a majority of his progress over the past like 2 years.
Just above TRT.
With just above TRT. So it's not just the gear; it's everything else accumulative alongside that. But it is. I feel like it is frustrating when people discredit the level of progress that you can make. But also, I get it because before I started taking it, I also was under the assumption that the progress that people made was a lot faster and extremely faster. When someone looked a certain way, I was like, it's just a void. I was like that typical fucking Karen on Facebook that's seen a guy who looks a certain way and go,
it's all the steroids.
It's all the steroids. But until you actually understand the processes and it's how individual dependent it is as well, because some people make a lot more progress than others quite quickly, which again is fucking.
It infuriates me when I see someone who hops on, they do one cycle and they've absolutely fucking blow up. I'm like, you jammy bastard. I wish I responded like that.
My mum and dad didn't gift me with those genetics.
Nah, fuck that. But I won't even say I've got shit genetics. I just need to work a bit harder for them.
It's just we just need to work like they do, but at the same time, they might be able to do a little bit less and see more progress. We might have to do a little bit more to make more some progress. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. People's rate of progress, whether you're natural, whether you're enhanced, is all going to be individual.
You can only piss with the cock you've got. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can only work with what you got, and you've got to be happy with it because you're going to be with it for the rest of your life. So you've got to make the most of it.
That's it. You can sit and complain about it, right? This is what gets me as well. People that I just don't have the genetics for it. All right, so work a bit harder then. Do something like the people who've got good
most
genetics.
People can work harder. Not even most. Everyone can work harder.
Oh yeah.
Everyone can work harder. There's always going to be something more that you can do realistically. Yeah. But anyway, off the topic of like of steroids.
That's gear done.
He's come out of the closet now.
I wasn't in the closet. I was just sort of peeking around. You know what I mean?
Is anyone watching?
I won't lie.
It's because he knows this is going to get about 5 views. That's why. And it's right at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, be on my clients. They'd be like, "Oh gear," and I'd be like, "Nah, they won't."
No, I never said that. That was someone else.
So what? How do I take? Yeah, I'm like, listen, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, right, bro. I'm not going to go into these two questions because I feel like we've covered quite a lot. I'm going to go to the last one.
We've pretty much spoke about that anyway.
Yeah, like all I want to talk about now is plans for this year. So we'll go Harry first.
Yeah, so
let's do business. What's the first one?
Business.
So go.
Obviously, I still work full time, work 10-hour shifts, as well as coaching. So for me, it's more drive a bit more into my coaching business. Obviously, I've only been doing it 8 months. No, not even 8 months. I think it were August, September time last year. I started. I've got a few boys on, all doing well.
I'm just going for a piss.
Yeah. But for me, it's like that's going to be my main drive for this year. That I just want to grow my business. To be honest, grow my coaching side, get some more lads and lasses on. Cause I coach one lass at the minute, who's absolutely smashing it as well. But yeah, just grow that, start building a bit of a bigger following more clients, and hopefully in the next 12 to 18 months do become fully, oh my god, I can't get my words out, take it on full time. So I quit my job, full time coach, and yeah, but that is the business side of things that I want to get. That's like my business goals for this year. But when it comes to like physique development, obviously I'm in prep at the minute. I'm 2 weeks in. I've got 19 and a half weeks left. So that's like my main driver for this year. I'm fucking on plan. We're 2 weeks in, 5 kilos down. So I'm not doing too bad for a start, to be honest. But obviously I know it's going to get a bit harder. I compete on the 21st September first timers. I am still a junior as well. So that is one of the main...
Let's get it.
That's one of the main driving factors of why I competed this year. If I was say 21, 20, I wouldn't have competed this year. I'd have waited. Put big growth phases in. Obviously, I've spent most of the time that I've been training in a growth phase with little tidy ups along the way. Innit?
Yeah.
So it's not like, and I'm tall as well. It fucking breaks. I'm 6'4", right?
I've got that issue and all.
Yeah, innit? And like peak bulk, I was 100 and we got the highest weight I was on. My bulk was 101 kilo just before prep.
After a couple of takeaways.
Couple of takeaways, holding a bit of water. I was averaging about 9 kilos. But filling your frame when you're tall is not easy.
Right.
But it's just.
But it also looks better when you do.
It does, yeah. It just takes a bit of time. So obviously, if I wasn't, say I was 24 and I wasn't competing as a junior this year, I wouldn't have competed. But because it's junior, I'm like, I've got one season as a junior. I may as well go in, see what I can do, bring the best that I can bring. I might not be the biggest on stage, but I will be the leanest. I'll put money on it because I will dig.
What you spoke about when I went for a piss. You talk about business.
Spoke about business. What I want for the year.
Yeah.
I'm speaking about bodybuilding now. Speaking about competing.
Anything else?
No, not really. I think I'm probably going to go on holiday after prep. I want to do little trip to Berlin, see the sights, like the inside of Berghain.
I have no idea about any of that.
It's just a rave. I do still enjoy raving. Like I enjoy it, but in moderation. So it's not every weekend. It's once in a blue moon. But when I do go, I have a good time.
When he goes, he goes. when he goes,
he goes. But so, yeah, that's my plans for the year, and then next couple of years, minimum 1, probably 2 big off season before I move into the big leagues with the boys. Move up from junior bodybuilding to hopefully classic tall, where
that's what it's going to be.
At that point, I will hopefully have put a fucking fair bit of size on from what we bring to show, and we make that look like absolute shit.
You would have.
Oh no, I would. What about you?
Is that you?
That's me.
My plans for the year. So we'll talk about business. So business first is, that's my baby, man. Like my business is my baby, and I feel like I said to you, for me, when I started PTing, my goal, I've had big aspirations and big goals my whole life, and I feel like PTing has been that thing that's allowed me to kind of work on something within myself and build something. I'm not there yet, but I feel like I've progressed, and this year for me, I believe is the year.
Even already, it's gone a lot better.
It's starting to improve. It's starting to improve, but I feel like it's been very slow for me, which is I'll be honest, like it's deflating. And it's not about comparing myself to others. It could be a small case of that, but when I see people come into the industry and then they do blow up within 6 or 8 months or 9 months, 10 months, and I've been doing this now for 3.5 years, like 4 years. But then I also think to some of the better coaches in the industry, and when I say better coaches, I'm talking about the ones that have a very sustainable business and the ones that are very high up and get a high level of results. They was in the game for 8 or 9 or 10 years before they actually started to, before they are where they are now.
Yeah.
People are just starting to make more progress now within coaching and business because of one thing. Because most people now are becoming better marketers and better salesmen than they are coaches. So they understand how to market and sell the people within the business, but they don't know how to coach. Whilst for me, I feel like my biggest driver has always been my level of service, care, support, and coaching ability. And I've learned all those foundations now, and I'm grateful for the fact that my business growth has been so slow. Because if I would have had that in the first 8 months of coaching, and I would have got to where I want to get to within the first 8 to 10 months, I wouldn't have been able to take it or handle it because I didn't have the ability. Whilst because it's been such a slow burner,
I've got to a place now where I've got the coaching confidence, I've got the knowledge and the ability to believe in myself that I can work with a large amount of people. It's just a case of bringing them in now. So this year's about getting results and also starting to promote my service a little bit more and getting more people through the door. Referrals, people that want to come and work with me through seeing the results from clients, post more content, do more long form content for YouTube, and just get people to know who I am personally and what I'm about.
Yeah,
And,
I feel like it's like when it comes to like reels and stuff on Instagram,
it's
we get his personality across, but it's not like.
I'll be honest, I hate reels now. I think they're shit. I hate them. I just think you can't be yourself. I love this.
Yeah, because I when it comes to speaking to a camera, I fucking crumble. If I'm in the gym and the camera comes out, I forget absolutely everything I've ever learned about training. Like, I don't even know how to squat. You know what I mean? Like,
see, I don't crumble. I just dislike the way that you have to be. Like, I dislike the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because what people want is boom, 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 or controversy. So you have to say something silly or something that you have to like. So you have to be something silly or something really controversial for it to do well, right? And
it's what gets engagement, but it's like,
if I don't want to say something controversial, I'm not going to say something controversial because if I don't believe it, there's no point. Like, everything that I post about, I believe in, and what I'd like about this is we can just fucking waffle on, have a conversation. If this gets 5 views, it gets 5 views. If this gets 20 views, it gets 20 views. If this gets 1,000 views, it gets 1,000. I don't care. I just like the fact that maybe someone's going to watch this, and this is going to give something for people to watch. And it's a way
if one person watches it and they're like, you know what, I actually enjoyed that.
You might even look at this and go, you know what, I want to work with Harry. Or you might even watch this and go, I want to work with me.
If you do Harry T coaching on Insta.
No, coach, I'll just leave the links in the bio.
Yeah.
So if you do want to work with any of us, it's going to be in the bio. But I'm followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Instagram's a place where, like, I like shorts, I like reels, I like doing them to an extent, but I also feel like the way that it's going, the way that engagement is, to be able to get the engagement that you, say, for example, would consider to be good engagement, you have to kind of put on a bit of a facade. Not always. It just depends on what you're talking about. But I love this. This is what I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like longevity wise, this is what is going to help, I believe, build your business and build mine. Because people can spend more time watching us, spend more time with us, and then see what we're about.
Meal in that.
Yeah, when you're having a pre-workout meal, doing your cardio, having a shit.
An iPad kid.
Having a shit, I don't know what
you're
a doing.
Fucking iPad kid.
I am an iPad kid.
I swear down, this man can't do a task without an iPad being on.
No. Gotta be.
Like, food's getting cooked. I've got 19 different fucking sounds coming from the kitchen because he's got his laptop on, his phone on, his headphones in.
He's been a hater, mate. I am an iPad kid. I'm an autistic iPad kid.
I'm a silence in the dark kind of guy.
No, someone's got to be on. Someone's got to be playing. It's like going to sleep. Won't tell you on.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
no, I'm opposite me. I have to be silent.
No,
maybe I could just about tolerate the fan.
I love the fan.
Just about.
A bit of white noise.
Yeah.
But yeah, business wise, like went on a bit of a fucking tangent. But I feel like everything's grown at a slow rate. But I'm a big believer in. I don't know if you are. I'm a big believer in the universe and things falling into place at the right times.
Everything happens for a reason.
100%, 100%.
Your time will come if you work for it.
100%. And honestly, I believe things are starting to fall into place in life in general, in multiple ways. Relationship, like financially, my ability to be a better businessman, my ability to be a better coach, my sort of ability to know that I can handle more people and have that confidence within myself to handle more people, which and also the results that I'm getting. Like, it's led me to the place where I've got a bag of results for people to be able to see that I can do what I can do. So my goal for this year is to be able to get to 40 online clients, and I'm saying that, putting it out into the universe, because I will make it happen.
Manifestation.
I'm manifesting it, and right now, I'm not there. I've got half. Okay, so just to put that into perspective, I got half of that. I've got 20, but I want 40 by the end of the year at least, and that's what I'm going to make happen by this year. And then we've got live.
I'll be happy with like 15, 20, mate.
Yeah, because it's a steady income, bro. Like, you can go full time with that. It's not full time. It's not like an amazing wage, but when you're full time, look at what we can do.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'm off work this week and it's been fucking. I've just been living the life.
Got more time to do things.
I've been living the life, and honestly, it's good.
That's why when I was a PT, I made it my goal to go on rent. When I had the ability to have enough clients online to then sack off most PT in, then I did that because I realised the time that it would give me, and that's more valuable than trading my time for money elsewhere.
Yeah, like, I don't enjoy my job. I fucking love coaching people. I love training. I love everything bodybuilding. I fucking hate going to work. Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to go. Joy's right. It's not even getting up at 6. I fucking love getting up at 6.
But the thing is, that's why you've got to do something about it.
Yeah.
And this is why we had that conversation the other day. Because I asked him certain questions, and obviously
You therapied me.
I asked him certain questions. I was like, realistically, ask yourself: are you doing what you need to do right now to get to a place where you could coach full time? And what I mean by that is, are you posting content daily? Are you talking to people in the DMs daily? Are you even offering your service to anyone? Are you creating free stuff to be able to give to people? Are you asking for referrals from clients? Are you posting about your current clients? Are you showing social proof, posting transformations, posting updates of clients?
This
Stories.
sounds like you're just slagging me off. Like they were the questions he asked.
But they were the questions. They were the things that I was asking, and the answer to every single one of them was no. Guess what happened the next day? He did one thing. You posted some bits to your stories.
I post my story a lot, but it's a lot of just
personal shit. It's personal shit. It's never going to be business related when it needs to be a mix. Personal for people to buy into you. Yeah. Business for people to go, fucking hell, he's doing a good job with people. I want to work with him because I like him and I also know he works with people.
Yeah.
So the next day he posted stories about his clients. Guess what? He got a sign up. Like when people see you doing things and they like you as an individual, it's a service-based business, people are going to buy into you and they're going to pay you for that.
I've got two.
Well, two signed up in the space of a week when he lost one. And that one, though, allowed him to be able to reflect on what needed to be done to then now get those two.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of lose to then gain.
Yeah.
But like I said to you, bro, when it comes to going full-time and doing that, sometimes you've got to just throw yourself into the deep end. It's a little bit harder when you got bills. I get that. It's a little bit harder.
It's so easy for that fucking.
I get that.
I just lived at home and I have no bills.
Honestly,
life would have been good. I'd have just sacked everything.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It is hard, but at the same time, it's a case of like you just have to work harder. On the days when you're off, it's not a case of it's my day off. I just want to I want to relax and rest. Well, guess what? The future that you're wanting,
future me resting and relaxing.
The future you is resting and relaxing when you've got to where you want to be. Yeah. Like you're not there right now, so do the work now. Rest and relax later when you're happy. Like when you're fulfilled.
I still won't be fulfilled. I'm never fulfilled.
No, you're never happy. Never happy. There's a difference.
Proud, not satisfied.
There's a difference. You want to have fulfillment. You want to be fulfilled with what you're doing in life.
Oh yeah, no, happy. I'm with you.
They're two very different things.
I had a brain fog then.
There are days when I let my tiredness stop me from doing content. Right, when I know for a fact once I get going and get moving, I'm going to be fine. There are certain days when I know for a fact I could potentially plan out some more content for Instagram. I could talk to more people to be able to build the business that I want, but then sometimes I don't. And it's like I know there's areas of my life that I can improve, and those areas being, I still feel like are mainly going to be down to me putting the work in, and it's mainly business, to be honest. My actual life itself, I'm very fucking happy with. We've got a nice flat. I'm happy with sort of who I am becoming. I love the relationship that I'm in. I'm making, you can say that, bro, but I do. I love the relationship that I'm in. Like, I'm financially in a position where I can afford to live. Like, not financially free, which is where I want to be, but I'm financially able to live and be consistent. But by doing what I do and what I love as a job, which is fucking mental because not a lot of people can say that, right? So
I'm sort of like dipping my toe in.
Yeah, I love what I do. You've just got to.
But like the other side that I'm on, I fucking hate it.
You've just got to do that little bit more to be able to get to a place where you can do the coaching full time. But I didn't want to sound. That's not what I said earlier on. That's not me sounding ungrateful. I love my life. Like I love everything about my life. I love who I'm becoming. I love the people that's within it. My support circle, my relationship, everything. It's allowed me to become who I am.
We've got a really good circle.
We've got a very good circle.
Very good circle.
I'm just a very goal oriented person. So it's like the satisfaction comes from when I'm seeing little bits of progress. So if I'm stable when I'm not making no progress in life, I don't feel satisfied. When I feel like there just needs to be little bits of progress and then I'm happy. Like I can't maintain, or I feel like I'm losing myself. So yeah, but that's my that's life. Life is just about improving in every aspect. But as a whole, I fucking love the way things are right now. I just love to one day be financially free. and to continue to help people that I do, but just doing like become financially free doing what I love.
Yeah.
It don't mean that I want to work any less. I want to work more, but again, it doesn't feel like work with what I do. Bodybuilding for me, I competed last year. I've got no sort of aspirations to compete for a long time, to be honest. It's more just about improving, enjoying food, gaining, enjoying training, and I've got no aspirations to compete until about maybe 2027. I do want to do one more time. I do want to compete once more.
One last shebang.
I do want one more shebang. But at the same,
compete together.
Maybe. But at the same time,
bodybuilding though, I won't be able to do a classic.
No, I'll do bodybuilding. I'll do bodybuilding anyway.
I'd have to.
Unless I look better classic at that point, but I don't know. It depends on how I start building, what structure's saying. But yeah, I'm just, all I want is just to get bigger, enjoy food, be consistent, enjoy training, and when the time is right to compete, the time is right. And I'll know the time is right.
That's like me. Obviously, after this prep, I'm not in no rush. Like, if I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And you'll obviously tell me. Like, I will not go to like a fucking, it's open, isn't it, when it's like...
But no, it's just bodybuilding. Opens like when you get to like the high amateurs and...
Alright. No, well...
Like when you go to like PCA shows, it's got...
Like, I don't... As a junior, now, I know that I probably won't be able to compete with the older boys. So for me, it's once I finish this season, I've only got one show planned, but that's subject to change depending on how prep goes.
Yeah.
But after this, I reckon it's going to be a good minimum 2 years that I have in an off season to grow. But again, that's not a timeline I'm setting myself. It's all physique.
It's all subject to what the change is.
Yeah, it's that, and it's all physique dependent. So if I don't feel like I can go and compete, well, there's no point going.
Yeah.
Like,
Same as me. If I don't feel like I'm ready in 2027, I ain't.
I'm not going to fucking be some dickhead stood outside at stage. You know what I mean?
No, but yeah, that's just the plans. Business, 40 clients. You probably go full time online.
Yeah,
let's go. That could be your goal.
That
go
is
full time online.
My goal.
It's not about having a certain amount of clients.
12 to 18 months.
Go full time online. I think you can. It's not even a thing. I know you can do that. You just need to put the work in.
Yeah,
and you need to do what's needed to do that, and that's post. That's talk to people. Do sales calls. Do calls. Chat to people, even do calls with the intention of just literally giving them advice, and they might want to work with you down the line. So many more things that you can do, and it will get you to the place where you want to be. And then soon have it. You're probably going to be full time online. You could do it. You could do it genuinely in 6 months. It just depends on how much you're willing to work. But with myself, it's more about just solidifying it and consistently having business, because the one stress of running an online business and online coaching business is, like, I've got longer term clients that have stayed with me for a long time, but at the same time, like, it's nice to have a steady influx of clients. So if I could roughly gain 1 to 2 clients every couple of weeks, or if I could have so many calls with people which then leads to clients, like, at least it's steady. When at the moment it's more of a case of it's maintaining. So I might gain a couple, lose a couple, but the couple that I've lost is like they've been with me for a long time, or they only did plan on joining me for 12, 16 weeks, and it's a case of like making sure that I constantly get to the point where I am gaining more than I'm losing, which I generally do. But that's why it's been a very slow burner, because people do stay for a long time. But it's making sure that if I lose one, I gain 2. Lose one, gain 2, and just continue that.
That's what I've just done. I've just lost 1, gained 2.
Yeah, so. It's just the trajectory that I want to be on. I just need to start making sure that I'm promoting my business more, and like I'm going to do right now with this video and give myself a shameless plug, and also potentially put this on Spotify if I want to. I just need to figure out how to do it properly. I'm going to leave a coaching link. All it is an application form. You click on that link and you look at the video which goes over how coaching works with me. If you want to fill out that form and potentially work with myself, then please fill out that form. I'll also leave Harry's coaching link or the application form in the bio as well, or the description of the video.
If not, jump on the Instagram, find me on Insta.
Yeah, or just follow us on there. Just watch our videos, look at the content.
Have a look, see if we interest you, because we're probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Or you don't like us,
you don't like
follow us and just
follow us and
give us a follow and slag us off. That's all right.
Share all this content on your stories.
Yeah, we could be a part of your daily gripe.
We could be your fucking daily fury. Like we could be the reason you
absolutely dislike us. You could look at our videos and go, "This motherfucker," send that to your mate and go, "He's a prick him. Look at him."
That's what I
fucking right. Prick.
Look at that ugly cunt with his
Oh,
shit mullet.
look at him. Shit bastard.
With his shit mullet and receding hairline.
Mate's like, why don't you unfollow him? Oh, because I like giving him shit.
Yeah, facts. I love it.
I like hating.
I love being a hater.
But
I'm not a hater.
No, he's called himself out there.
Not to. Here, listen.
He called himself out.
There's certain people that just really piss me off, but I'm a hater in some aspects, but I'm also a lovely guy.
No, you're very supportive.
Yeah.
You're very supportive. You
I am more for my clients. Anyone
supportive,
just
no,
love,
you're
just love
supportive
everyone.
with your people.
Yeah,
That's the difference. But you also know you can see fake,
yeah,
and that's the difference.
very easily.
I can see fake. I can see when people are putting on a facade, and I can see when people are just not being themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Just be yourself. And to anyone out there that's struggling to be yourself right now, or you want to start something, or maybe have aspirations of doing something big,
Just fucking do it.
just fucking do it. Like you
Honestly.
want to start YouTube, start YouTube. If you want to start creating content online, but you don't have many aspirations of being a coach, maybe yet, but you want to start, document your journey, do it.
That's
Create
how
a
I
TikTok,
started.
Do it.
I
That's how it starts.
started with gym journey.
Yeah.
That was my Instagram.
How are your gym journey?
Start posting like my
Journey.
Well, yeah, my journey. Sent it. I did it for like 2-3 years. No, 4 years, wasn't it? And then it only recently I was like, I just took the leap and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it.
Yeah. That's
I'm
what you
glad
got to
I
do.
did. I'm glad I did.
Sometimes you just got to start, and whatever it is that you want in life. I'm a big believer in you have to manifest and talk it into existence. So like I've told you, I want 40 clients. I've said it. It's happening. And then once I get 40, then will be 50, then it will be 60, then it will be 70, and it's only going to keep on growing, and then it might be a coach underneath me. So it's a case of making sure. We'll see.
What?
Oh, well, I never knew that.
I'm just gonna wait till you build 40-foot man. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, you see, just talk into existence what you want. Tell your friends, tell your family, and if they don't support what you have goals and aspirations of achieving, if you haven't got a supportive partner, you haven't
Punch
got.
him in the fucking throat.
That's domestic violence. Don't do that.
No, obviously not if it's your missus. If it's your brother or your cousin or something, just jab him.
Yeah, if it's them, give it them. But yeah, if you've got a supportive network, it's amazing because they're going to support you. That will egg you on to make sure that you do what's needed to be done. If you don't have a supportive network, you just have to do it anyway. You have to do it anyway.
What you could do.
If it's not a supportive partner, get them gone. To be honest,
Sack them.
because in my opinion, a partner should support you with whatever you want to do. If it's not a supportive mum or dad, and you've explained to him how it's going to benefit you in your life and what direction you want to head in, well, it's not about cutting them off. It's just doing it anyway.
Even if
And then when it works, they'll be like, "Wow, I'm so proud." That's literally it. That's all it is. When it works, guess what? People are going to say they're proud and they're going to ask you how you did it. So it's nice to be able to understand that you're not going to be supported by everyone. Not everyone's going to want you to do something because it's different to what you are, and it's not you as a person. That's not your identity. And sometimes people are scared about you outgrowing them.
Changing your identity is not a bad thing. I'm just really with ADHD, so I pick up a new hobby and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to run with it. But this has been like the one thing that I've stuck with, I've progressed in, and because I do, and I'm constantly seeing change, it keeps me driven, and I fucking love it. And I love seeing all the boys do well, like genuinely their progress, I get more excited for them than my own. You've seen it yourself, and you're like, I'll be fucking showing it on my laptop, I'm like, look at this.
You know, I get gassed as well. It's like, it's just a part of it. It's like I support people that are doing well, and I support people around me that are wanting to better themselves because I understand how much it is going to impact their life, and if I can have a positive impact on their life selfishly, that makes me feel good.
It's that gratification, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get gratification from other people doing well.
Yeah.
It's the same with you. Obviously, before I coached, I used to fucking dash Tom's name everywhere. I still do now, to be fair. If there's like physique competitors and stuff, I'm like, go with Tom. Yeah. But we need to wrap this up now.
Yeah, we do. It's been a long one. It's been a long one, but yeah, this is definitely going to turn into a podcast. So we might as well just do a podcast now at this point.
Yeah, intro to
every Tom, Dick and Harry podcast.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry podcast.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry.
I'm fucking glad I came up with that belt.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry podcast coming to screens near you on a weekly basis. Probably weekly.
Yeah, once a week.
Yeah, get some weekly grabs in next time. I love a weekly gripe. We can talk some shit on that.
We're going
to throw some weekly gripes in, but yeah, we're going to wrap this one up.
So hopefully you've enjoyed the first podcast. This is a bit of an introduction into me and Harry. And yeah, hopefully if you've enjoyed it, then just subscribe to the channel. What channel we're going to put? We'll talk about this afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it to a mate, and
Follow us on Insta.
Follow us on Instagram. And if you want to work with us one-to-one, I'm going to put both our coaching links in the bio to apply to work with us for coaching. And I'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.